It often begins with something so small you don't even notice. A skipped walk on a cold morning, a generous shake of salt at dinner, a full glass of orange juice, and then one day without a single warning, it happens. I want to tell you about Ellen. She was 69, lively, always sharp, always smiling. On a Wednesday, she danced in her living room with her grandson. On Thursday, she had a stroke in her sleep. No sign, no pain, no time to prepare. If you're over 65 or love someone who is, you need to hear this. Because the truth is, stroke doesn't tap you on the shoulder before it strikes. It doesn't give you a countdown. It simply takes over. Silently, suddenly. But here's the powerful part. Up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. Yes, 8 out of 10. And it doesn't take expensive equipment, gym memberships, or strict diets to get there. It starts in your kitchen. It starts in your bedroom. It starts with how you move, how you rest, how you eat, and what you do day by day. Are you ready to take back control? If this resonates with you, if you know what it's like to worry about your health or someone else's, leave a 1 in the comments right now. If you've never thought about stroke prevention before, it's okay. Drop a 0 because we're all starting somewhere. And tell me, where are you tuning in from? I want to know. Whether you're in Fort Lauderdale, Lagos, or Little Rock, this message is for you. Together, we're about to walk through 9 powerful, proven habits that lower stroke risk, support your independence, and give you sharper energy every single day. This is for you, for your future. Let's begin. Let's pause and look at the bigger picture. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States. But what's even more surprising is this. Most strokes don't have to happen. According to the American Stroke Association, nearly 80% of strokes are preventable. That means 8 out of 10 cases never need to occur. Not with expensive treatments, not with high-tech machines, but with the small things, the everyday things, the way you start your morning, how you hydrate, what you eat, how you move, and when you sleep. Every tiny habit adds up, either building a strong foundation or quietly eroding your health. Think about it this way. Instead of waiting for symptoms, what if we focused on prevention? Instead of fearing the unknown, what if we learned what truly works? In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through 9 essential habits that doctors recommend. These are practical, doable, no matter your income, location, or background. And most importantly, these are habits that protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. So if you're ready to move from confusion to clarity, let's take the first step, starting with your very first meal of the day. Let's start with the one moment that sets the tone for your entire day. Breakfast. Now, if you're like many people over 65, you may be reaching for something quick. A piece of toast, a flavored oatmeal packet, maybe even some fruit juice. But here's the twist. Some of those choices, though convenient, may quietly increase your stroke risk. Instead of protecting your brain, they could be fueling the problem. Why? Because as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to inflammation, unstable blood sugar, and high blood pressure, all major drivers of stroke. But here's the good news. With just a few tweaks, breakfast can become one of your strongest tools for prevention. It all begins with 3 key elements: healthy fats, antioxidants, and fiber. Start with omega-3 fatty acids. These powerful plant-based fats fight inflammation at its root. You can find them in chia seeds, flaxseed, and walnuts. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds offers more omega-3s than a piece of salmon, and 5 grams of fiber too. A recent study in the Journal of Stroke showed that higher intake of ALA and omega-3 found in chia and flax can reduce stroke risk by up to 27%. So instead of sugary cereal, why not stir chia seeds into a warm bowl of oats? Next, think berries. blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. They're packed with anthocyanins, antioxidants that protect your blood vessels from damage. Harvard researchers found that eating berries just 3 times a week can cut stroke and heart attack risk by up to 32%. Then there's fiber, especially from oats. Plain rolled oats or steel-cut oats are your friends. Skip the flavored packets. They often hide 12 to 16 grams of added sugar. That's 4 teaspoons of sugar first thing in the morning. Instead, go for oats that give you beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that helps clear bad cholesterol. Here's a simple stroke-smart recipe. Half a cup of rolled oats, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, half a banana, a mix of fresh berries, a small handful of walnuts. Top it with a scoop of plain Greek yogurt and a dash of cinnamon. It takes just 5 to 10 minutes to prepare, and you'll give your brain, heart, and blood vessels lasting support. Remember, breakfast isn't just about energy. It's your first chance to protect yourself before the day even begins. So tomorrow morning, ask yourself, will my breakfast protect my brain or work against it? Now let's shift our focus from what's on your plate to what's in your glass. Most people don't realize this, but hydration plays a massive role in stroke prevention. And for adults over 65, it's even more important. You see, as we age, our sense of thirst naturally declines. That means you might not feel thirsty even when your body truly needs water. And when you're not drinking enough, your blood becomes thicker. That makes it harder to flow smoothly, raising your risk of clot formation and, yes, stroke. A study published in Stroke found that over 60% of patients admitted for ischemic stroke were dehydrated at the time. Just think about that. Even mild dehydration can quietly set the stage for something serious. So what's the solution? Start with the basics. Aim for 6 to 8 cups of water a day. Keep a water bottle nearby. Drink a full glass in the morning. Sip regularly. Even if you don't feel thirsty yet, staying ahead of dehydration is one of the simplest ways to protect your brain. But hydration isn't just about water. It's also about what not to drink. Let's talk about sugar. Refined sugar hides in more places than you might think. Flavored yogurt, granola bars, bottled teas, even salad dressing. Once it enters your bloodstream, sugar triggers a storm of inflammation. It raises your blood pressure, damages your arteries, and pushes your insulin levels into overdrive. And here's something most people don't realize. Sugar draws water out of your tissues to balance your blood sugar. That means the more sugar you consume, the more dehydrated you become. It's a double threat: thickened blood and higher pressure. So what can you do? Choose whole fruits instead of fruit juice. A ripe banana, a crisp apple, or a handful of berries gives you natural sweetness and the fiber to slow down sugar absorption. Flavor your water with slices of cucumber, lemon, or mint. Try caffeine-free teas like rooibos or chamomile, especially in the afternoon. And set a small goal. Drink 1 glass of water when you wake up, another before each meal, and 1 more in the afternoon. Because sometimes the most powerful way to protect your brain isn't with medicine. It's with something as simple as a sip. Let's talk about one of the easiest yet most overlooked habits for stroke prevention: walking after meals. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need a park. You don't even need to leave your house. All it takes is 10 minutes. Just 10 simple minutes of movement after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why does it matter? After every meal, especially meals with carbohydrates, your blood sugar naturally rises. That's a normal part of digestion. But in older adults, these spikes can last longer, especially if you sit down right after eating. When blood sugar stays high, it creates inflammation. That inflammation stresses your blood vessels, damages the lining of your arteries, and increases your stroke risk. But here's the remarkable part. A 10-minute walk right after eating can lower your blood sugar spikes by up to 22%, according to a study in Diabetologia. And there's more. In 2025, researchers from New Zealand found that walking just 10 minutes after each meal was more effective at controlling blood sugar throughout the day than a single 30-minute walk done at any time. Tiny bursts of movement, done at the right time, can deliver big benefits. Don't think of it as exercise. Think of it as digestion in motion. It's not a power walk. It's not a jog. Just intentional movement. Walk around your home. Stroll through your garden. March gently in place as you wash dishes or tidy up. Even 5 minutes can help, says UCLA Health. That's how quickly your muscles start using glucose, turning it into energy rather than letting it linger in your bloodstream. Walking also boosts circulation, improves your mood, and helps regulate blood pressure. 3 big wins for your heart and brain. So instead of sitting down after your next meal, take those steps. Let your food work for you, not against you, because sometimes the best medicine is movement. Now let's shift to something that happens when the world gets quiet. Your sleep. You may not realize it, but sleep plays a powerful role in protecting your brain. In fact, about 1 in 4 strokes happen during sleep or in the early morning hours. That's not a coincidence. When your sleep is irregular, too short, too light, or constantly shifting, it disrupts your body's natural rhythm. Your blood pressure stays high at night. Stress hormones like cortisol rise. Your blood sugar becomes harder to manage. All of these quietly raise your stroke risk. But here's the encouraging truth. Just having a consistent bedtime and wake-up time can make a real difference. A major study in neurology followed over 30,000 adults for nearly a decade. Those with irregular sleep schedules had a 22% higher risk of stroke, even if they slept the same total hours as others. It's not just about how long you sleep, but how steady your rhythm is. So pick a time. Go to bed and wake up around the same hour each day, even on weekends. Let your body settle into a peaceful rhythm. And here's one more important tip. Watch your caffeine. Caffeine can linger in your system for 6 to 8 hours. Or if you drink coffee or green tea after 2 p.m., it could still be in your bloodstream at bedtime, interrupting deep rest and raising nighttime blood pressure. As we age, our bodies process caffeine more slowly. That afternoon cup that once seemed harmless may now be robbing you of sleep. Instead, try a calming herbal tea like chamomile, rooibos, or lemon balm. Or sip warm water with a slice of lemon. Let sleep become a silent protector. Because when you sleep well, your brain breathes easy. Let's talk about something tiny but mighty. Something that hides in plain sight on your dinner table. Salt. A sprinkle here, a pinch there. It seems harmless, but too much salt quietly raises your blood pressure, stiffens your arteries, and increases your risk of stroke, especially after 65, when your body becomes more sensitive to sodium. You might think, I don't use much salt, and that may be true at home. But here's what most people don't know. Over 70% of the salt we consume comes from processed and restaurant foods. That includes canned soup, frozen meals, bread, salad dressings, and even healthy cereals. According to the American Heart Association, older adults should limit sodium to 1,500 milliliters per day, about 2/3 of a teaspoon. But the average American consumes more than 3,400 milliliters daily. That's more than double the safe amount. And it adds up meal after meal, day after day. But here's the hopeful part. Reducing sodium by just 1,000 milliliters per day can lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 6 mmHg. That drop in pressure? It's linked to a 27% reduction in stroke risk, according to the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. So how do you cut salt without cutting flavor? Nature is full of powerful alternatives. Use garlic, roasted, minced, or sautéed, for depth and heart benefits. Add turmeric for color and anti-inflammatory punch. Try rosemary, thyme, or basil for fresh aroma. Brighten your meals with lemon juice or a splash of apple cider vinegar, and drizzle with extra virgin olive oil, rich in antioxidants and known to reduce blood pressure. Imagine this. Instead of salty roasted potatoes with 800 milligrams of sodium, try them with olive oil, garlic, rosemary, and turmeric. That version? Under 100 nanomolar amount of sodium with even more flavor. Your taste buds will adjust, your heart will thank you, and your brain will stay sharp. Now we come to something you might not see, but you can feel if you pay attention: your heartbeat. One of the most underestimated stroke risks for people over 65 isn't high blood pressure or cholesterol. It's something called atrial fibrillation, or AFib. AFib is a type of irregular heartbeat where the upper chambers of the heart quiver instead of beating steadily. This disrupts normal blood flow and can cause blood to pool, creating clots that may travel to the brain and trigger a stroke. Here's what's alarming. AFib increases your stroke risk by 5 times, and many people don't even know they have it. It often comes without symptoms, no pain, no warning, just an irregular rhythm until a stroke happens. But you can catch it early, and you can do it at home. With your own 2 fingers, sit quietly, place your index and middle finger on your wrist just below your thumb. Feel your pulse. Count the beats for 15 seconds, then multiply by 4. That gives your heart rate. But more important than the number is the rhythm. Does it feel steady, or does it skip, flutter, or pause? A normal rhythm feels like thump, thump, thump. Irregular might feel like thump, pause, thump, thump, skip. Also, watch for signs like unexplained fatigue, lightheadedness, shortness of breath, or a fluttering in your chest. These may be subtle, easy to ignore, but they matter. If anything feels off, call your doctor and ask for a simple test called an ECG. It takes minutes and can detect AFib. Because when AFib is found early, treatments like blood thinners or rhythm medications can drastically lower stroke risk. Your pulse is more than a beat, it's a signal, and tuning into it could save your life. Now let's head back to the kitchen. Not to cook, but to prepare. Because when it comes to stroke prevention, preparation is protection. You've probably heard the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And when hunger strikes, especially after 65, we often reach for whatever's easiest: salty snacks, sugary bars, or frozen meals. But what if the easiest option was also the healthiest? That's where meal prep comes in. It's not about making complicated dishes or spending hours in the kitchen. It's about setting yourself up for success by having nutritious, brain-supporting foods ready before you need them. Here are 2 simple, stroke-smart ideas you can prep in under 10 minutes. 1. Fruit and nut salad cups. Chop up apples, pears, or grapes. Add a small handful of walnuts or almonds. Sprinkle cinnamon on top. Store in small containers. They're loaded with antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. Great for circulation and fighting inflammation. 1 chia overnight oats in a mason jar, combine. 1 2-cup rolled oats. 1 TBSP chia seeds. 1 2-cup almond or oat milk. Frozen berries or banana slices. Let it soak overnight. By morning, you've got a fiber-rich, omega-3 powered breakfast ready to go. Not into sweet options? Try roasted veggies with olive oil and lemon, or boiled eggs with avocado and sliced tomatoes. Place these meals in clear containers, at eye level in your fridge. That way, when hunger hits, the healthy choice is already waiting. Because stroke prevention doesn't start in a hospital. It starts on your grocery list. Let's take a moment to step beyond food, sleep, and movement, and talk about something just as vital: connection. Loneliness doesn't just hurt emotionally, it carries real health risks. In fact, studies show that social isolation increases stroke risk by 32% and can worsen outcomes after a stroke occurs. Why? Because when you're isolated, your stress hormones stay high. You're more likely to skip walks, skip meals, or delay doctor visits. You lose motivation, and that slowly chips away at your health. But connection, real human connection, can change that. Let me share a story. James, 72, from Ohio, had a mini stroke that left him shaken. His doctor told him to walk more, eat better, and stay active. But James lived alone. He didn't know where to start. Then he joined a local senior center walking group. At first, he barely spoke, but within weeks, he met Mary, another stroke survivor. They began walking together, checking in on each other, sharing meals, encouraging better habits. 2 years later, James has lost 12 pounds. His blood pressure is stable. And more than that, he's happy because prevention is easier when you're not alone. So ask yourself, who's in your corner? Could you join a walking group? Call a friend weekly? Volunteer somewhere meaningful? Even a little connection, once a week, can lift your heart, steady your mind, and protect your brain. Stroke prevention isn't just a solo journey. It's a path best walked together. Now let's talk about one habit that ties everything together: tracking your health numbers. After 65, your body can change quietly. Blood pressure creeps up. Blood sugar fluctuates. Cholesterol shifts. You might not feel a thing until something serious happens. But here's the good news. You can catch those shifts early. All it takes is 5 minutes a week. Start with these essential numbers. Blood pressure, aim to stay below 130/80 mmHg. Resting pulse, keep it steady between 60–100 bpm. LDL cholesterol, lower is better. Fasting blood sugar, ideally under 100 mdl, even if you're not diabetic. You don't need fancy equipment. A home monitor and a small notebook will do. Each week, write down your numbers. Also note any symptoms: fatigue, dizziness, blurry vision, or changes in balance. Over time, this journal becomes a powerful tool, not just for you, but for your doctor. It shows trends, helps spot problems early, and allows for smarter, more personalized care. And here's something many people miss. Your eyes, gums, and gut also reflect vascular health. Blurry vision could signal small strokes or high blood pressure. Gum disease may indicate artery inflammation. Digestive issues can mean you're missing key brain-supporting nutrients, especially B vitamins. So keep those appointments. See your dentist, get your eyes checked. Talk to your doctor about any changes, even small ones, because stroke prevention isn't just about reacting. It's about listening to your body and taking action before the alarm bells ring. Let's take a deep breath and reflect on the journey we've just walked through. You've now discovered 9 powerful habits, each one backed by science, shaped for simplicity, and built to support your independence, energy, and brain health. And the best part? None of them require a prescription, a gym, or a complicated routine. You can begin today, right in your kitchen, in your hallway, in your garden. Start your mornings with brain-protecting foods. Stay hydrated and steer clear of hidden sugars. Walk after meals. Sleep with rhythm. Season with intention. Monitor your heartbeat. Prep with purpose. And above all, stay connected, both to others and to your own body. Because stroke prevention after 65 isn't about fear. It's about understanding, about hope, and about the quiet daily decisions that shape your future. So if one of these habits spoke to you, if you felt seen, encouraged, or even inspired, please click that like button. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And don't forget to subscribe. Each week, we bring you easy, science-backed tips to help you stay sharp, strong, and independent at every stage of aging. Finally, share this video with someone you love, your sister, your neighbor, your walking buddy, because the smallest tip could spark the biggest change. Stay curious, stay steady, and keep choosing a future that's full of life.